Hello, I'm Alan, and welcome to today's edition of Alan's Cycling Adventures. Today my training plan calls for another 80-mile ride. Ordinarily I wouldn't subject you to 2 videos in a row of the exact same route, but I am trying out a different method of making the video today, and so I'm going to go ahead and video this and try to edit something together and post it. Hopefully it comes out good. Anyway, happy Easter. It is Easter Sunday, March 31st. And just a few more rides before I have to ship the bike. Next week will be 85 miles, and the week after that will be another century ride. And right after that, I'm bringing the bike in to have it shipped. Anyway, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, or ideas for future editions of Alan's Cycling Adventures, be sure to leave them in the comments below. And if you enjoy my video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button to subscribe to my channel. Well, without further ado, let's ride. So those of you who watched last week's video, you know that I fell on the ice during that video, and after that fall I did what I referred to as the walk of sanity, or the walk of fear for my life. Well, today I repeated, or yesterday at this point, I repeated the same route. It was considerably warmer, so no ice. But in the aftermath of last week's ride, my son suggested that maybe I should video in real time instead of in what GoPro calls time warp mode, in order to try to capture with sound anything that might be worthy of being shared. So on this ride, I did just that. It did require an upgrade. I got a larger SD card for my GoPro. So now I have a 256 gig instead of a 128 gig. And that will store up to a little over 10 hours of video. That should cover any ride I want to record in real time. And so I thought I'd give it a try. Unfortunately, much to my son's disappointment, I don't think I will be doing this approach again. A couple of reasons. The primary reason is because when I got back, I went to transfer the files, and I had to connect my GoPro to my phone using a cable. Not a big deal. I had the cable already. But even with a direct transfer like that, as opposed to going over Wi-Fi like I normally do, it still took a couple of hours to transfer all of the footage. I actually fell asleep while it was transferring, so I don't know how long it took. But one of the side effects of that is when it finished transferring, my phone had gone from 90-something% battery life to 14%. And since the cable plugs into where I would be charging the phone, charging it is, without buying some additional accessory, charging it while transferring the files is not really an option. Although for a longer ride, it would have to be an option. And after transferring the files, I thought about getting a MagSafe charger so that I could charge my phone without using the USB-C port. And that way it would be connected to power while it's transferring the files from the GoPro. However, there's another reason why I won't be doing this again, or there are several other reasons why I won't be doing this way again. One of which is it used up pretty much the entire capacity of my phone. I had to transfer the files to the GoPro app. Then I did some rough edits in the GoPro app. I like to do my fine edits in iMovie. But after I did my rough edits, I had to transfer the video segments from the GoPro app to my camera roll so I could import them into iMovie. And much to my surprise, even though it was a whole bunch of 12-minute segments, roughly, a little bit over 12-minute segments, each of those 12-minute segments took a little over 6 minutes to copy to my camera roll. So just to put that into perspective, that means that if I'm out on the road for 6 hours and I've got 6 hours of video footage, I'm probably looking at about 2 hours just to transfer the files from the GoPro camera to the phone, and then another 3 hours to transfer them to the camera roll. So without even adding in any editing time, I'm already looking at 5 hours for a 6-hour ride. On top of that, while the GoPro app is transferring the files from the GoPro app to my camera roll, the GoPro app does nothing in the background. So while you're transferring the files from the camera to the phone, I can't use the phone for anything else. While I'm transferring those files then again to my camera roll, I can't use the phone for anything else. No talking, no texting, no nothing. I can't update my blog, nothing. So, yeah, I don't have that. I don't think I'm going to have that kind of time when I'm on the road on my trip. So those are the major reasons why I will not be doing this approach again. Add to the editing time, if I want to put these videos into time-lapse mode like you see them, I have to run them through another app which speeds them up 15 times and then double the speed in iMovie to get that 30 times effect that I'm used to. Another downside is the battery life. The battery life was close to what I'm used to. I usually change batteries every 30 miles. It seemed like I was having my batteries go dead at about 22 to 23 mile intervals. So in order to prepare for this trip, I would need more batteries. I do plan to get a couple more batteries and another charging base for the batteries because I want to make sure that I'm able to capture everything. But as it turns out, I had 3 of the GoPro Enduro batteries, which are the longer life batteries, and 1 standard battery. And that gave me just enough battery life to record the intro, record the entirety of the 80-mile ride, and start to record the afterward, which takes less than a minute to record, and the battery actually went dead halfway through recording the afterward, which is why when you get to the end of this video, you will see me not in cycling clothes, not standing with the bike, but in the living room watching the Mets game while recording the afterward. Anyway, I think that pretty much sums up why I won't be recording. Oh, and on top of it all, while I did have that one moment last week that would have been fun to play in real time, I had nothing on this ride to share in real time. I was able to do a screen grab much easier for the purpose of the thumbnail for this video, but in past rides, when I see something that I think would make a nice thumbnail, I just stop recording the video, switch to photo mode, and take a picture or two. And then the next time, stop, take another picture or two, and pick out the best of them. This thumbnail, I actually saw a frame in the video that I thought was really good, and I was able to save it as a still photo. And that was a kind of cool feature, but yeah, not enough to go through that kind of battery life, that kind of clogging up my phone, that kind of time transferring the files, etc. Not to mention however long it took me to run every one of those 12-minute segments. Yes, roughly 6 hours divided up into 12-minute segments. That's a lot of segments to run through an app to speed them up. That probably added at least another hour, I would guess. So that pretty much sums all of that up in terms of this route. It's the exact same route as last week, just without the ice, without the water bottle freezing. So it was more pleasant from that perspective. While talking, I wasn't really paying attention to the footage, so I don't know if you've already seen it or not. I think you have at this point, but you all know now what a scofflaw I am, because one of the roads on this trip was closed. It was closed last week as well. The difference being that last week they had a sign that the road was closed and there was a barrier ahead, but there was no barrier. This week, they had barriers at both ends of the road, and I had to stop and go around the barrier. On the way back, going past the barrier meant that I was already on a climb and had to start climbing from a dead stop, which is not the most fun thing to do. But anyway, in terms of this ride, it was, as I mentioned, on Easter Sunday, March 31st, 2024. Happy Easter, everyone. It is coming down to the wire. I have potentially 9 more rides before I ship my bike. 2 of them are long. Well, there's more than 2 long rides, but the really long rides are going to be 85 miles and 100 miles, and I will record those and post those, assuming I get them both off. When it gets closer to next Sunday, I'm going to check the weather, and if the following Sunday looks sketchy, I'll do the 100-mile next Sunday. If the weather looks doable, then I will do the 85-mile next week, if the weather permits, and excuse me, and the 100-miler the following week. I do say as the weather permits because I just got my bike through a major service, and I would like to keep it as nice as I can until the ride. I did start this ride at 5:21 a.m., and at the start it was 45 degrees Fahrenheit with a feels like temperature of 43 degrees Fahrenheit and 75% humidity, with the wind at 0.9 miles per hour from the west-northwest. Looks like I'm starting to run out of time. I'm almost back at Teresa's house. So I will put the rest of the statistics in the description for those of you who are curious. Sorry for rambling on. I hope you enjoyed what I had to say, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and that's all I've got for now. Well, I had set out to test my new filming strategy and was able to video the start. I was able to video pretty much the entire ride. The batteries were dying faster than they normally do. So the battery would die, I would stop, I'd pull over, I would change the battery and start recording again until the next battery went dead. Was able to get the entire ending of the ride and went to film my afterward, and the battery died. So looks like I need to get more batteries. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I still have to edit it. Hopefully everything works out okay and you'll actually see it. And until next time, stay safe out there.